Good morning.
Good morning out there. Happy Friday.
Buenos dias.
Bonjour.
How do you say good morning in French?
I just did. Bonjour.
That's
You know that.
that's hello.
Bon matin.
Bon matin.
But bonjour is good day. If you translate it. It's
Okay.
Good day.
All right. So we're just gonna wait a few minutes for you guys to jump in here. We didn't have a pre-post because we just got back from workouts at the park. Almost literally.
Minutes ago. It was a chilly one. My toes are still freezing.
Yeah. My hands were. We probably shouldn't complain because it's not minus 30.
That's right. We
Yet.
shouldn't complain. Had a great group working out for our 10-day challenge, and it's kind of sad that we wrapped it up. Today was the last day. Today was the 10th workout, and we had an awesome group. They showed up ready to work, worked hard, and couldn't really ask for a better group than that.
Most people showed up every day, which
Yeah.
was quite impressive, especially for the time. The workouts were at 6 a.m.
Workouts were at 6 a.m., which means that you're getting up, depending on how long it takes you ready, about 5:30, 5:30. And so it makes a big difference when you're getting up that early because on the other end, you have to go to bed that much earlier,
Right.
which can be challenging to go to bed 9:30 to get your, 7.5, 8 hours in before the alarm goes. But Drew and I were talking the other day about how important morning workouts are. And we just see so much more success when you get up, get your workout in, and then get on with your day. There's some people who can be quite successful with afternoon or evening workouts, but for the majority, morning workouts are much better. We see the most success that way. That is what we would suggest is morning workouts. Because you can, throughout the day, when you get up, work out, it's over. You can go on in the rest of your day and not think about, I gotta work out, I gotta work out, I gotta work out. I don't want to work out. I'm too tired to work out. Because as the day progresses, you can convince yourself that maybe you shouldn't work out. But if you get up, get dressed, and go work out, your workout's done before you even really know what happened. So that's why we suggest morning workouts. Also, it sets your whole day up for success. So when you get up, work out, you've already accomplished so much before you even started your day and you start on a positive note.
That's right. I'm just working on sharing our video here. So if you guys get a chance, you can share this video because I didn't get a chance to share it yet. So there's still a handful of people coming in. So thank you guys for coming in. Dorothy's just yakking away here.
Good stuff, though.
While I'm sharing away, so definitely good stuff.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this morning because the long weekend's coming. Well, it's here, I suppose. Lots of people are heading out for their last trip camping. And we wanted to talk about some healthy snacks and campground workouts. So we'll get into our main topic here. We're just waiting for people to jump on in. And I was just explaining how important morning workouts are to set your day up for success. Drew and I 100% are all on board for morning workouts. There's a lot of people out there, or a good majority of people out there that say, I'm not a morning person. And we just encourage them, just try and get up and work out because you will have more energy as well throughout the day. Right. So if you get up, work out, you're setting your day up for success. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel more accomplished, like, yes, I got it done. And your nutrition will even improve over the day, throughout the day, if you've worked out in the morning, because we don't want to ruin a good workout with poor nutrition. So when you wake up and you work out, you naturally want to eat better throughout the day. Part of it because you don't want to ruin your workout you just had, but because you feel better, you have more energy as well. So you want to fuel your body properly. So there's so many benefits to a morning workout.
That's right. Let us know in the comments below when you like to work out the most or when you least want to work out, because that will, that will give us an idea of what kind of audience we're talking to or how we can explain whatever we want to explain here.
And Drew and I, it's funny because Drew and I were never really morning persons. We were never really morning persons. We had to structure or build our routine to become morning people. So it's very doable or very manageable if you're like, I'm not a morning person, it takes time. But you can definitely transition into enjoying the mornings more. It's more of a mental practice that way than it is a physical practice.
That's right. We had Chantel that said, I find morning workout was good, and I'm
an evening person.
Sorry, Chantel. Mm-hmm. Got lots going on right
here. And my dad says, I find morning workout cuts into my sleep. Need to go to bed earlier then.
But I think that's normal to be like, oh, well, if I work out in the morning, you have to get up that much earlier before work. That means you have to go to bed that much earlier. Mm-hmm. And it's challenging.
Yeah.
Like for us, for example, sometimes we are working till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And that's not to say just because we run a business doesn't mean you're not. Like maybe you're running a business or maybe you have extra work. That may have something to do with, like you may not be able to go to bed earlier sometimes. So unfortunately, we lose some sleep. Mm-hmm. So that's a very real concern there, Greg.
Yeah, but we often talk about the importance of bookending your day. So you have a morning routine to start your day, and then at the evening, you would have an evening routine as well. So it would require a shift in both areas as well.
Greg said, good topic. Jane and I are trying to find out the best time to fit in our schedule.
Mm-hmm. Morning. I know my mom isn't a morning person.
Well, why don't you talk about, we're almost done. We're going to jump into the main topic here about workouts are important, especially like we're talking about the long weekend and going away, but we still have to structure our days for workouts and activity. Why don't, for those that are like your parents that are commenting here, can we talk about how to, how to structure your day properly? Like if they're trying to find out which is the best time to work out, how can they make that work in their day?
You know what? And it's like you have to look at it, change your mindset and look at it as an appointment with yourself. My parents have a business and they make appointments with their clients all day long. But you have to, and I know not just my parents. There's other people that do that too. But you need to, in order for it to work in your schedule, you have to block that time off and not cancel with yourself. Because you wouldn't cancel with a client unless something very drastic or very important happened. So you can't cancel with yourself either, because then you are putting your health at risk. That's how you can kind of shift your mindset. So what you have to find in the day when works best for you. If mornings really aren't going to work, then maybe instead of going home right after work, you go to the gym first and then go home. And that's always an option too, but making sure that you schedule that appointment with yourself, put it in your calendar, and it's non-negotiable. Once it's in your calendar, it's non-negotiable. You have to do that appointment. You wouldn't miss it for your client, so you shouldn't miss it for yourself either.
Isn't that funny how we put, this goes back to putting yourself last, for example, but it's funny how, if it's business, and I do the same thing. If it's business, you don't miss it. It's set in stone. And we do that all the time. It's like for work, for example. Like maybe you're not running a business, but maybe it's work. But I got to do it. It's for work. But when it comes to ourselves, it's like, bleh, it's only myself I'm letting down. Mm-hmm. But you have to understand, when you're letting down yourself, you're letting down other people as well. So maybe you have employees that you're letting down because you don't have a great mood because you didn't eat well and you didn't work out, because we all know it makes us feel better. And maybe we're letting our family down, or our spouse or our kids, because we know we could offer more. We'd have more energy, or we'd have more emotion to share with them if we did work out, if we did feel great. So we're not just letting ourselves down. We're letting those around us down as well by pushing ourselves to the side.
And I think for some reason it would be even easier if you thought of it that way. Like if I do in my workout, then it's going to benefit my family or my kids or my wife or whoever it is. And you can kind of shift your mindset that way too. Another thing that we can do to fit in our workout in the day is do a shorter workout. A lot of times we have this mindset that a workout has to be an hour, but it doesn't. We can do a good workout in 20, 30 minutes. So if you have a lunch break of an hour, for example, some people like to go out on their lunch break and get a workout in. You can get a good workout in 20, 30 minutes, and you can still have time to eat. I know some people who work at have desk jobs, and they will eat at their desk and then go work out, or vice versa, go work out and then eat at their desk after to get it in at the lunch break. We would just caution you to still, if you're eating at your desk, to still take the time to eat and not shovel it in your mouth for digestion reasons. But even maybe if you have the ability to schedule your own lunch breaks, maybe you take an hour and a half instead of an hour, and you get your workout in and your nutrition in, and then at the end of the day, you don't have to think about it either.
That's right. So I'm going to pull some comments on here. We're pretty well good to go. I was just sharing and making sure everyone was set, and so I just want to welcome everybody in and thank you so much for being here. We have Chantel that said, "Good morning, Drew and Dorothy."
So basically, I was just rambling while you were getting set up?
Yes. But they didn't need to know that. We were just saying that we just got back from a park workout, so we needed some time to set up. But it's good to welcome people, and we're still talking and offering good information. So good job. Chantel said, "I find a morning workout was good, and I'm an evening person." So that's great, Chantel. I think Chantel also said, basically, I got converted to a morning person.
Yeah, you did, Chantel.
Yeah, that's awesome, Chantel. And like I said, Dorothy mentioned we were kind of the same way. In college, I always liked to work out in the evening, and I didn't have any problems with working out late and then sleeping. I had some sleep issues that I've mentioned before in the past anyways, but I think that a lot of times people say, I'm just not a morning person, but you can change. Like, you can make that a difference in your life. So,
and it does take effort and work to change your routines, but it will be beneficial. We're not saying, just change your routine and become a morning person. It does take some effort. You have to put the effort in to go to bed a little bit earlier and make sure that you're still getting the proper rest if you're going to wake up a bit earlier and get your walk in or your workout in the morning.
You got to make that. You got to put in the effort and time before it becomes a habit. You don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
We have Suzanne jumped in here. Good morning, Suzanne. Thank you for being here with us.
Hey, Suzanne.
Nikki's in here as well.
Hey, Nikki. Nikki was for every workout at the park. She didn't miss a workout.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Nikki. 6 a.m. workouts. They're tough to get to.
Yes.
They are. And to show up every time for 10 days straight. Because usually we recommend maybe 3 or 4 days. You have some rest days in between. But we were going 5 days straight, weekend 5 days straight. And that's no easy task.
Not an easy task by any means. And this morning I actually pushed snooze for the first time. It was our 10th day this morning. And then it made the get up time a little later. Whoops, push snooze.
Suzanne said, should you eat before a workout or after?
Both.
Great question, Suzanne. We actually talked about this on a day in the life or D&D Adventures, and we'll post that link in the comments here.
It was our second episode, and we did pre and post workout nutrition for our second episode of Day in the Life of D&D. And yes, we should be having something before our workout to fuel our bodies throughout the workout. And then after your workout, you should be eating again to replenish the nutrients that was lost during the workout.
That's right. And we have different recipes. Like we call the first, if you're working out in the morning, you should also work out. You should also eat in the morning before your workout. A lot of times people say, I just go to I just go to the workout. And I think it's a bit different. If you wake up, you like jump out of bed and go for a run, which sometimes we do. That's a bit different. But we also feel that you should be fueling your body to give yourself sustainable energy before your workout. So definitely before. Those are probably, to me, those are the most important meals. Before a workout to fuel and after to replenish. And I would match in their breakfast because one of those, like breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but one of those should be before a workout or right after.
If you're jumping out of bed and going to do your workout right away, a banana and peanut butter is a great pre-workout fuel. The peanut butter is natural peanut butter. Is a healthy fat, so it's going to give you sustained energy throughout your workout.
That's right. And then we had Nikki said, I prefer to work out. I'm getting text bombed over here.
Text bombed.
It's
a good thing. We like your comments.
No text messages.
Oh, text messages. I thought you were saying we had lots of comments, but that's a good thing.
It is. We love comments. But it cracked me up when people write like one word and push send, like writing text message. I'm not a big texter myself.
No.
But when you're having a text conversation, you're like, hey, Sen, how are you, Sen? What's going on, Sen?
I'm guilty of that. Because I get excited.
Don't hit send.
I get excited and I write a sentence and push send. And then I'm like, oh, I wasn't done. So I type again and send. And then I'm like, oh, I have to tell them this and send.
Then the phone is like buzzing. Like,
buzz.
And I'm like, turn that thing off. Anyways, Nikki said, I prefer to work out in the morning so it's done and I can continue with my day. Awesome, Nikki. That's the best time without question.
Yeah.
Later on in the day, we make excuses and more things. There's more chance of things getting in the way. And if you get up and you do your work, it's just the same thing like entrepreneurs or business owners. Like when you get up, you do the most important task. And for all of us, that should be working out because then you don't have all these excuses or things that could come in the way.
And we don't have to go to a gym. Like a lot of times we think you have to get up, you have to go to the gym and get a workout in, then come home and it takes more time, but you can get a really good workout in at home in 20-30 minutes, and then
you don't have the travel time.
You don't have the travel time. Yeah,
you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for a piece of equipment. You don't have to change there. Like you get up, have your clothes. Like you have your clothes set out.
I'm a robot in the morning, so I have to set my clothes out the night before. So then I'm not scrambling trying to find my clothes. So they're in a little pile. This is crazy, you guys, but I layer my clothes in the order that I'm going to put them on. So on the top, I have my delicates, is that what you say, to put on first. And then they're all in order. Socks are on the bottom because I put my socks on last.
You like bing bing.
Then it's just robotic. You just.
Does anyone else do that? Is Dorothy alone here?
Maybe I just
exposed
myself as a crazy person. But
leave your comment below if you plan the way you get up in the morning the same way as Dorothy does. Or if you don't, because I certainly don't.
Yeah, get dressed. I have my kombucha. I have my banana peanut butter. I actually have half a banana and peanut butter before the workout. And then when I come home, I eat the other half of my banana. Usually not with peanut butter when I get home. But, yeah, and then it's pretty much the routine.
I'm just going to grab this link here and I'll put it in the comments here for Suzanne and anyone else that was interested in pre-post-workout nutrition. We talked about that on a D&D morning show. Or sorry, we've been doing that for years now.
The day in the life of D&D. There's so many titles because we have so many shows now. So Drew is getting the titles mixed up. But on a day in the life of D&D, we did the pre and post workout nutrition. So you can have a look at that. Our goal is to try and get to 100 views.
For one of our episodes. So we have 4 episodes. Excuse me. So that's one of our goals right now. So if you haven't checked out our episodes of Day in the Life of D&D, we are trying to get to 100 views. So please check them out. You can click the thumbs up button, send us a comment or leave us a comment, subscribe. All of those little things help us out. That's right. And I prefer workouts. I'm just seeing who I missed.
Oh, Louise is here.
We have Louise. Good morning, Louise.
Hey, Louise.
Louise is actually going to be featured on one of our The adventures.
The next one coming out, it's coming out tomorrow morning.
That one?
Yeah,
really?
that's episode 5.
We have a lot of clips that we put together. We put all these video clips together, and then we put them together in sequence, add music. Oh, it's a ton of work. It takes a couple hours.
But you know what is, like, we love it. It's so much fun. I'm not sure if it is because it's a new project and it's a little different, or if we're always going to think it's this much fun. I hope so.
Right.
But we have so much fun deciding the topics and filming the little clips, and then Drew puts them all together into a video. He's very good at it.
Me too.
Puts the music in and the pictures in, and so it's really a lot of fun.
And sorry, we're just reading here. And Louise said, good morning. She said, late to the party again. All good, Louise. Happy that you could make it here. She said, I love morning workouts. That's fantastic. Louise is always working out, always inspiring, running. Right, Louise, you did a bike thing too, didn't you?
She did.
That's
a couple of times.
Pretty fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I do the same thing. Suzanne says she does the same thing. Are you talking about the clothes, Suzanne? Because I think Chantel says she have her clothes set out the night before too. It's
important. I always did that when I was teaching too. I always had my clothes set out the night before because I can't think in the morning of what to wear. It slows me down. So in the evening, if I put it together, then in the morning I just had to put it on.
This sounds a bit crazy, but Steve Jobs and a couple other genius type of figures, they wore similar clothes all the time.
Then you don't have to decide?
Yeah, and I think Steve Jobs wore something like Wrangler jeans or like blue jeans and a black shirt almost every day. And he felt that he didn't want to waste any mind power on
deciding what to wear.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, it's interesting because I am always attracted to the same colors, like black, for example, is always the colors that I usually choose. But maybe I am thinking like Steve Jobs.
You know what?
But maybe that's why, because I don't want to take the time to decide what color to wear.
Well, we started True Form years ago. It's like 7 years ago at this point, and everyone's like, "Oh, I really like the black and white. It's sharp." Mm-hmm. And they're like, "How did you decide on black and white?" And I was like, "It was the cheapest to buy." So when you go and buy a shirt, it's like the cheapest color to put it, like it's cheapest to get a black shirt, and then the cheapest is to put a white thing on. I didn't have any money. I was trying to start a business, so it was like a no-brainer to me. But we love the black and white, and that's what we wear often. Mm-hmm. So
branding too, I suppose. Yeah. Black and white. And I like to throw in a little gray here and there.
Nikki said, I lay my clothes out like that too. Dorothy is not alone.
Thank you, Nikki.
Suzanne sounds like she does the same thing.
Awesome.
It sounds like
you're
not out to lunch there, Dorothy. And Suzanne says, I watched it. Don't know why I missed it. That's all right, Suzanne. You can go back and watch it.
Yeah. Never get another view, Suzanne.
And then Louise said, probably something similar here.
I usually put my clothes out the night before, but they just go in the order I take them out of the drawers. Mm. So you don't go that far crazy.
Only partly crazy, Louise.
But I think anything you can do the night before to make your morning routine more successful or more smooth, run more efficiently, the better. So if you can lay out your clothes, if you can prepare your breakfast, for example, maybe make your smoothie the night before, or put together your overnight oats, or just putting the granola on the counter with the bowl and spoon. Like all those little things that you could do the night before that will make your morning so much smoother. It's just bonus, right?
That's right. And then I forgot what I was going to say. I think I'm going to end our Instagram. And Instagram's a tough one. Does anyone have any Instagram tips? We run our show on Instagram as well, so we're live on Instagram and on Facebook. Facebook's our main platform. This is where most of our people are. But we're trying to go on Instagram too, but it's not really growing. Like the live video thing. It's a bit challenging. So anyways, that's why we went towards YouTube, and that's actually channel is actually growing every day, so that's exciting. Mm-hmm. I'm going to end that video.
Okay.
Goodbye, Instagrammers.
Bye, Instagrammers. we're going to get into our main topic here, and we're going to talk about campground workouts and healthy snacks for camping leading into the long weekend here. So in the comments, write for us your biggest struggle when it comes to long weekends and food and workouts. So what do you struggle with the most when it comes to the long weekend? We know a lot of people go away, and lots of camping happens around here in Alberta for the long weekend. So we want to help you out. We want to answer your questions. So let us know your biggest struggle in the comments, and we'll address your questions. And we have some tips as well. So we'll get into that here.
Oh, we had a question here, or we had a response from Jessica. Jessica says, hashtag, branding yourself on Instagram is huge. How about any live videos? I think we're growing a bit slowly on Instagram, the posts, but the live videos, we don't really get more people in, or new people. So any tips there, Jessica? And then keep those hearts coming. We got 136 hearts.
Oh man, on Cooking with Dorothy the other night, what did we get? 2,000?
Over 2,000.
We got like 2,000 hearts. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Crazy. And Cooking with Dorothy, if you haven't tuned into Cooking with Dorothy yet, those happen on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And they're a lot of fun. We're just starting a new series, a new 6-part series. And we're talking about making lunches, how to prepare healthy lunches for the kids, for school, and also for yourself for work. So
yeah,
a little bit of tips and tricks there.
So for me, when it comes to the long weekend and getting into the main topic of staying on track with snacks, with workouts, on nutrition, like
I want to guess what you're going to say. I interrupted him.
shocking.
Can I guess?
Please.
He's going to say preparation.
Prep. I was not going to say preparation.
Oh, darn it. Okay, what were you going to say?
That's a good one. Prep.
Go
I
ahead.
usually say prep. That's why Dorothy jumped in there. But for me, it's mental. It's the mental part of it. And to go into the camping and this long weekend knowing that you want to stay on track. So I think it's different. Like this is usually the long weekend before, the last long weekend before the kids go back to school. Is that right?
Yeah, the kids go. It depends what school division you're in. Some kids have gone back already, but most of them around here, most kids are going back Tuesday after the long weekend.
Okay. Thank you for
Some
that.
details for you.
Thanks for the detail. Dorothy breaks it down. Let me write a list about everyone going back to school. Okay.
I know stuff.
So this is usually the last long weekend before the kids go back to school, and then everyone gets back in their regular routines. But for me, mentally, going into the long weekend and being like, I want to stay on track. I want to gain some momentum. This is pretty much the last chance we get to gain momentum, because when it starts, when we start, kids are in school, we're back at work, and you try to start then, it's basically starting from zero. You have no momentum, you have no movement, and like anytime you're doing something, can you relax over there?
You said movement.
Oh my gosh. Dorothy
Go ahead.
was a grade 1 teacher for years, and it shows. Anyways, what was the other movement? And then there's another one that you can't keep a straight face
I
for.
don't remember.
Okay, so there's
He says duties.
duty. Someone says duty. Dorothy does not keep a straight face. Are you
Okay,
finished?
I'm finished now.
Okay. So to have momentum means everything. That's why we started that 10-day fitness challenge, for example, because we wanted to give people the opportunity to have some momentum going into the fall. So just think what it's like to go to a gym and you haven't been doing anything. You don't feel great about yourself. You don't feel confident. You go to a gym and it's packed right now. And it's jam-packed with all these people and everyone's doing things and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? Mm-hmm. And you become very self-conscious. So for me to have that the mental aspect of being like, I'm going into this weekend to gain some momentum in the fall. I'm going to start with nutrition. I'm going to continue to work out and carry that into the next few weeks, because I think the next few weeks are the most important to get yourself into a proper fitness routine.
And I want to caution you not to fall into the trap because a lot of times this long weekend is the last hurrah or the last fun or last chance for camping or whatever it be.
Can you put those down? Put those down.
Drew says I don't use these right.
Dorothy does not use those right, ever. What is this? How does that make fun? Want to have some fun?
I don't know, Drew's like, I tried to use these, and Drew's like, just stop. Don't use them. You don't know how to use them.
Is anyone Friends fans out there? Because if you're Friends fans, you're usually a Friends fanatic. In one of the shows, Joey uses these. And I'm like, Dorothy, you're like Joey when you use these. Never in the right context.
Joey's like, I'm sorry. But if you haven't seen that Friends episode, just go to YouTube or something and type in Joey and what are these called?
Quotations.
Joey in quotations. I bet you it would come up, the little clip. It's hilarious because he doesn't know how to use these either. And Drew told me to stop using them.
She usually doesn't use them. I don't know where those came from.
I don't know. I'm going to go back to talking about the trap now. So the long weekend trap it's the last weekend. I'm just gonna have fun.
Let it all out.
Let it all out. I'm gonna have my drinks. I'm gonna have my junk food and all of this. I don't know how to say it better than crap. But I'm gonna have all of this hurrah, and then I'll get started after the long weekend. But that's a trap. Don't fall into that trap. You need to start now. Like, there's no better time than to start before the long weekend, or before Drew was saying the rush starts. Because after the long weekend, schools and work and all of that starts again, and there's no time.
If you don't have that routine already established.
Yeah. Go ahead. If you don't have that routine established.
I was just helping out with that.
Go ahead.
If you don't have that routine already established, then you have to establish it while it's chaos, while the kids are going back to school, while there's new projects. Everything picks up. Like, summer's a bit slow. We always say summer's a bit slow fitness, nutrition-wise, but it's slow for everyone because everyone's thinking about camping and enjoying the weather. And now the weather is changing. We have new projects starting. We have kids going back to school. So on top of that, we're like, and I'm going to start a fitness routine. It doesn't really work out like that. You push it back. As we talked about earlier in the show, you put yourself last, and then all of a sudden it's 3 weeks, 2 months into the fall, and then we're preparing.
Thanksgiving.
Then we're preparing for
Then we're preparing for Thanksgiving, and it gets pushed back again. Oh, Thanksgiving's gonna come, so I'll just wait and I'll indulge over Thanksgiving, and then I'll start after Thanksgiving. And after same thing. The Monday after Thanksgiving or the Tuesday, it's like, oh, it's Tuesday. I'll start next Monday because Monday's a good start day. And then it's Halloween.
Right. And
it just keeps going.
And there's always something. It's like it's a birthday, there's a holiday, so we have to start. Otherwise, it'll never happen. Mm-hmm. So Leanne said, she said, I immediately thought of Friends when she did that. Thanks, Leanne.
I just don't use those anymore. I'll try not to.
Leanne had a big weekend. Nice profile picture, Leanne. And congrats, Leanne. They were just married, weren't they?
A couple weekends ago,
A couple weekends ago. Congrats, you guys. We are super excited for you guys. So, Susan
just jumped on here. Good morning, Susan.
Thanks for joining us. So we're talking about the long weekend here, Susan, and anyone else that's coming in and out. And we're just offering tips and suggestions to get yourself ready and prepared and on track for the fall. Because it's here. Mm-hmm. It's a bit cooler. We had a 6 a.m. morning workout today at the park. Our last one to finish up our 10-day challenge. Susan, you have some workouts to catch up on, actually. Or did you do them while you were gone? Let us know. Susan was actually in our 10-day challenge. You're welcome, Leanne. I've been meaning to send you a message as well, Leanne. Hopefully we can connect. I know you had a big
summer.
Big summer, yeah. So I'd love to connect with you guys. So what else when it comes to that? So we talked about, for me, it was the mindset of being like, we're going into this weekend, getting ready, prepared, whether we're going camping or whether we're being away, we're still preparing to have some momentum going into the fall.
Yeah. And we talked a little bit about starting a routine now before you get into the thick of things. So if you're going camping or you're going to be away, we have some workouts we can share, eh?
That's right.
We have some campground workouts. Drew and I actually camped this summer, and we did a whole week of camping.
We did.
And that's big for us.
Yeah.
And so we did film some of our workouts while we were camping, so we can share those with you, so that when you go away this weekend, you can still get your workouts in.
That's right. There's a fly on the computer. It's driving me nuts.
Where?
Right there. I don't think you can see. Can you see
flies.
it?
They're so gross.
Do you guys know I can catch flies with my hands? It's true. I'm not going to do it now.
Oh, okay.
There's too many things around.
Move the tea.
But in our next show of D&D Adventures, I, on video, catch a fly with my hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Catches them, and then he does this. To see if it's in there.
If they buzz,
I just think it's so disgusting. I just don't like flies. They're gross. And has it in his hand and it's buzzing around. You might see a little mini freak out by me on the video.
So I'll actually put that. Maybe I'll put that snippet up tonight on the True Form page, and we're going to share that whole episode tomorrow morning exclusively on YouTube. So we're pretty excited about that. We share a new show every.
See, you didn't get him.
You know what you have to do to catch flies? You have to guess where they're going to go. Everyone thinks
boy.
It's true. That's why I'm like, yes, I am Ninja Louise.
Drew.
Oh, Jessica.
Do you know where flies land? Exactly. That's why I think they're so gross.
So we had this conversation. I wish it was recorded because Dorothy was like, something about flies. Like, do you know where flies live, or do you know where flies go? And then I was like, you eat mushrooms. It's like, do you know where mushrooms grow?
I said, Drew was making fun of me or something because I hate flies and I freak out about flies. And I was like, Drew, it's disgusting. Do you know where flies are born and where they come from? Poo! They come from poo, Drew. And then Drew's like, you eat mushrooms. Where do you think mushrooms grow? And I was like, shh.
He's like, shut your mouth.
Anyway, the conversations that are had between us sometimes.
It's true though, Jessica. Do you eat mushrooms, Jessica? Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah, it's kind of gross, but it's better. Like for me, when I'm working, I don't know, like houseflies seem to be a bit more annoying more recently. Maybe because there's none at the beach. We just got back from the beach.
I don't know.
Anyways, so these flies were buzzing around, and I have to catch them and throw them outside. Mm-hmm. I let them go.
He does not kill them. He throws them outside. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Welcome to the second edition of Day in the Life of D&D. In this week's episode,
Dorothy's talking there. Did you guys hear that? I'm just pulling up a video for you guys. Okay, so when it comes to staying on track with nutrition, we talked about healthy snacking, and we have tons of video recipes, and even us making them. And so how can we prepare snack-wise or nutrition-wise when we're going away for the long weekend, for example?
It all starts with planning and prepping. Those are the two most important steps to being successful. So before we think of all kinds of things when we go away, in terms of what to bring and where to go and all of these things, but one of the things that often gets left out is a meal plan or in the prepping of food. So I'd highly suggest making, even if it's just a weekend, to plan out your food and then bring along with you what you need to make those meals, because then you don't really have any other options, right? But to have what you bring. And having healthy snacks available so that you have something prepared ahead of time when the hunger strikes.
When the hunger strikes. That's right. I'm just working on this. I'm pulling up this video here for you.
Drew's legging.
It's a campground workout for you guys. But that's, Dorothy's really good at planning. That's why she plans for our monthly membership group every week, for example. So that's why I think it's a bit easier once you start planning on a regular basis. Or if you're not really a planner, I'm not really a planner, but Dorothy has the plans set out for me, and she has them set out for our membership as well. So that's why it's beneficial to have a supportive group or to have someone do it for you, because you have everything there. Like when new members start to follow the meal plan, they say, I can't believe how much money I'm saving, because you're not buying food that you're not going to use. You're not buying food that you don't know how to prepare or don't have a plan to prepare. So all your food is consumed, in a delicious manner, and you know what you're using it for. So I think that's important as well.
Mm-hmm. There's the workout. Are you going to show them?
I'm going to show them. I'm going to share the screen here, guys. So, I don't need you. Thank you. Can you guys see the screen?
Campground workout?
Yeah. So we're going to show a little snippet here of our campground workout. And so this is Dorothy and I, and we're in the mountains. This is one of our first workouts for our adventure down the West Coast. Mm-hmm. So these are dips, and we're doing squats together. You can do this with your spouse. You can do it on your own. Toe taps. And this video isn't very long. So this is just an easy way for you to get your workout in. You don't need equipment. You don't need to be doing anything extreme. This is just a quick, easy workout. We do this in about 20 minutes. We do it first thing in the morning, first thing that we do when we get up. And that's how we start our day while we're camping.
Yeah, and it was important to us because we did have quite a busy spring. So that was filmed end of June, I believe, our first stop camping. And it was important to us. We were going to be traveling for a week, and we weren't going to take a break from workouts just because we were on the road and camping. It was important to us to keep up our routine and keep up the workouts while we were away. And it really makes a huge difference when you keep up those routines while you're away, because then when you get home from your long weekend or your week away, it's not such a shock to get back into a routine. And that's a lot of times what happens is we break the routine, and then getting back into the routine is a struggle.
That's right. Leanne says I got to go. We'll finish watching later. Thanks, Leanne. You have a wonderful day, too. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
And we know people work and you have other things going on in your day, so if you can come in for a few minutes or watch later, that's perfectly fine. You should hashtag after party in the comments to let us know if you're watching this after, because we're always interested in who watches after as opposed to who watches live as well. And then we had Jessica. What do we got going on here, Jessica? Jessica says Canadian Wholesale Club has containers available to help food prep.
Oh, that's cool.
And so Jessica, can you explain those containers? Are they just containers where you put different types of food in, or I'm not sure what those would be. Mm-hmm. Do you?
No.
Okay. And then we got another comment on here. You want to read this one? We need some more hearts. Let's rock the hearts.
My husband works away, so I plan all his food for his 21 days gone.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Excellent.
Good for you, Jessica. That's a lot of planning for 21 days. Well, you do a month, right? Or 4 weeks?
4 weeks at a time.
You do 4 weeks at a time. So 3 weeks at a time. That's a lot of planning, Jessica. Good for you. When you plan for your husband, do you plan for yourself as well? That'd be interesting to know. And then Chantel said campground workouts. Chantel and Tina, actually, we did an airport workout.
Yes.
And Chantel and Tina did those and did that workout and sent a picture a while back when you guys were traveling as well. That was so cool.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because a lot of people think that we're nuts when we work out at the airport, but it's a lot. There's so much, I don't want to say wasted time, but so much empty time. I don't know what to say at the airport because you got to be there so much earlier. So, and plus then your flight time is usually 3, 4, 5, anywhere up from there. So that is so much sitting. And so that's a perfect time for a workout. And most people, especially if it's early in the morning, most people look at us like we're freaks when we're working out at the airport. When we're working out at the airport, but you're going to be sitting on the plane for so many hours. Yeah. So we like to get a workout in before we go on the plane. And again, it's not like this big, intense workout. It's usually like 20-minute workout and all body weight exercises. And then you feel better. And then when you get on the plane, right? And you're not as restless because you've got a workout and you've got some energy out.
You don't have to work out at the airport. That was just a fun thing that we were doing. And we were like, this, and I had these, I actually wanted to do it before. And Dorothy's like, it's kind of weird. But they had all these cool, like, things to jump on, and I'm like a kid.
that was like a little playground for the kids. If you've ever been to the Calgary airport, the new part, international part, when you're waiting, there's like a little kids playground there with animals and tunnels, and Drew's like, I want to go in there.
Then I was like, why don't we just work out? And then I was like, why don't we film the workout so other people can see it too? So it just made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm going to pull on some comments.
Yeah, but like Drew said, if you don't want to work out at the airport and you have some time before you go to the airport, it's always great to get a workout in before you travel. There's so much sitting.
Yeah, and especially because many times we might travel in the afternoon or in the evening, so you can get your workout in before. And I think sometimes we're like, oh, we're rushed, and that goes back to planning. Like, we're rushed, I don't have time to work out, but you're going to be sitting on a plane for, who knows, 4 to 8 hours usually. It's tough to get anywhere far. Like maybe you're going to Vancouver from here, or maybe it's an hour, but you still got to sit there for an hour. You got to travel to the airport. You sit there because they want you to be there 2 or 3 hours early. So get your workout in the morning, and then you feel much better on your flight.
But that relates to going away camping for the weekend too. Lots of times we're traveling a couple hours to the campground, and so that's a lot of sitting time too. So getting a workout in before you leave is always a great idea too.
That's right. I almost have the airport
Drew
workout
is
ready.
Getting a little crazy here with his screen shares.
I'm excited. So let me share the screen with you guys. You'll see that it's that one. No thanks. That thing always asks me if I want to do that. Check out our airport workout. So it's not.
We're gonna have to do another one.
Look how cool that little playground is.
There was actually a lady wanting to clean, like vacuum and clean in there, and she waited for us to like finish our workout. She was watching us like an employee at the airport, and we're like, you can come on in and do what you need to do. But she said, no, and she was watching us do our workout.
So that's what our airport workout looked like. And then, of course, don't forget to have fun. Woo! So that's what we were doing. Whoa.
I think Drew fell over there.
Okay. That's what we were doing while we were getting ready for our next flight.
Yeah.
Okay. That was fun. We got some comments here. Oh, look at these hearts. The hearts are flying. Let's do it. Keep them hearts rocking. We had Susan.
Susan said, I have been waiting until I have the trailer to myself, then exercise and yoga combined. Yeah, awesome. That's great.
Awesome, Susan. Have a great workout. And then Chantel says, yep, airport workout back in February.
Nice.
Very cool. I love those pictures. I got it. Someone's itchy in my eyeball.
I'll take over.
Oh, wow.
Ah, look at that. And Jessica answered as well. It's coming. Yes, I plan for myself and my daughter as well. The containers are all different kinds. Some plastic foam.
Deep Spar, located in Ottawa, Ontario, is a data recovery company. But
whoa, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, some plastic foam tin. They have reusable ones too, and oven safe. I make all his meals in the tin containers and pre-cook everything, so all he has to do is warm it up. That's awesome.
That's great, Jessica. And that makes such a big difference because when you're on the road, and it's the same thing when you're going camping or when you're going to go away for the long weekend, is because if you plan that stuff and they're already in containers or they're already pre-cooked and you just have to heat them up, you're already ready to go. And that makes your whole trip, it forms your whole trip much better or more differently than if you don't plan.
Mm-hmm. It was funny. Recently, it was a few months ago, Drew and I went away for the weekend, and I did that, like had all the meals all prepped and all planned in different containers. And we were staying in a hotel, which is a little different. We normally stay in a place with a kitchen, but we had each one backpack for clothes on our backs. And we were carrying in these big boxes with all our food. And people were looking at us a little strange. They're like, what are they doing with all of that food? Yeah. But it was, we didn't want to eat out the whole weekend. We want to eat our own food and stay on track. And so I prepped everything. We brought our crock pot with us into the hotel room. Mm-hmm. And we had, oh gosh, I can't remember all of the meals we had, but they were all made ahead of time. So all we had to do was pull them out, like we had the glass containers. But it was funny to watch people's reactions as we have one backpack of clothes and then we had these huge boxes of food.
But that's how important food is to us, because food nutritionizes our body. It makes us feel great. It heals our body. I always say that food heals, cures, prevents. So we did have less. We had more food than we had bags because we didn't need all that clothing for us, and that's how we live. That's the lifestyle we live. So it was important for us to have an abundance of food, and it was fun. It was fun. It was really fun. Like we basically camped out in the room. We're in the mountains. We camped out in the room, and when we got there, we put the crock pot on because it was going to take hours to prepare the food. And so we were playing cards or something. We try to stay away from electronics when we go away because, as you can tell, we're often around electronics, or we have 4 cameras pointing at us right now. So we were playing cards or board games, and the food was cooking in the background, and you could see the mountains up there. It was an amazing experience, and that's much different than planning to go to a restaurant. Like as soon as we get there, these are the restaurants we're going to. Or these are the places we're going out to eat at. So much different. Mm-hmm. We're back there. All right, guys. Do we have any other questions? Do we have any other questions? We should probably wrap things up here. We're just reaching around the hour mark. If you have any questions about tuning in and in the future, so we have Cooking with Dorothy coming up on Tuesday. And do you know what you're cooking yet? Preparing it?
Well, I was thinking about, it could change, but last episode we talked about what? It was just Tuesday. What did I make?
What is hummus?
Hummus, right. So we talked about preservatives, staying away from packaged foods because of the preservatives and the toxins they put in the packaged foods. So we made up a homemade hummus. And I was thinking that next week, this coming Tuesday, that we would talk about like sandwiches and how to prepare sandwiches without lunch meat, because the lunch meat contains chemicals like nitrate and other things, other preservatives to help it stay fresh. So I was going to prepare
fresh.
Right? It works there, right?
It does work there.
So I was going to talk about, I was thinking about talking about and making some sandwiches that stay away, I suppose, from the lunch meats.
Okay. Jessica says applesauce. Do you want to show Dorothy to show you how to prepare applesauce? Jessica, I'm not sure what you mean there. Oh my gosh, Amanda is from Brazil. Brazil in the house. What's up?
That's awesome.
What's up, Amanda? That's pretty cool. I want to go on someone else's video and be like, "What's up, Canada?" Very cool. Amanda, how did you find our live show? Can you tell us in the comments? I would love to know. We can get a whole new audience in Brazil. And then, okay, so yes, because I can't make it. Okay, there you go. Awesome. Jessica wants you to show. So that's a request. We love requests, Jessica. So that's something that we could look at.
That we could make.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I really like applesauce. This sounds kind of funny. Mm. Like I like eating it. I could eat like a ton of it. It feels like kid food or like baby food.
Yeah.
Does it?
I don't know.
Do you eat it?
I only use applesauce in baking because I'm not a big fan of it as a snack, but we actually, we as in me and my friend, not we as in Drew, because Drew doesn't do the canning.
I did some chopping though. That's a very big job.
Yeah, I was kind of on Drew's case last year because every year I do all the canning, and I do it with a friend, so it's a lot of fun. But I said to Drew, you really need to get involved in this process somehow. So Drew came and he chopped for a couple of hours,
I did a lot.
It was a good experience for you.
I would like to mention when we plant the garden or pull out the garden, Dorothy mysteriously has appointments almost every year.
Not when we plant the garden.
Okay.
When we weed the garden.
Okay, weed the garden.
Oh, sorry, guys. I guess I have to meet so-and-so or do this appointment.
No one likes to weed.
I don't like the weed.
And we have like one day a year.
One big weed.
One big weed. It's weed for a few hours, and it's horrible. No one really likes it. It's like picking rocks. If anyone grew up in the prairies and you have any family members that have a farm, you know what it's like to pick rocks. Well, picking weeds is very similar.
The end. I have nothing to say.
Oh my gosh. So anyways, that's my response when Dorothy's like, you don't really can. And I'm like, you never weed. And I think it's one or the other. It's either plant or pull too.
Well, I'm better. I did both this year. I did the planting and I did the weeding.
Yeah, good job. You think you do that every year.
I will.
Jessica says she hates buying applesauce.
Yeah,
so.
And it's not with the applesauce. It's usually not only the ingredients in the applesauce, but the containers as well. Like
plastic.
Those little lunch-size plastic containers.
So we had Amanda come in here. She says, I'm learning English and I'm searching for Facebook Lives. And I found you guys, what a great way to
that is awesome.
learn English.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda, if you like our page, we really appreciate it because then you could watch more of our shows. We have a live show every Tuesday night and then at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Not sure what time zone you're in. But we also have this show we do every
Friday
at 7:30 Mountain Time. And then she says, English plus food is, I love. My English is terrible. Well, if we can help out or if you'd like to tune in.
But she says my English is terrible, but I really don't. I think you're doing a great job.
Especially typing.
Yeah.
Right? That looks great. And then we have Susan. I find mine soothing. I find it mind soothing.
Mind soothing?
What's that?
Making applesauce? Because Sue made a bunch of applesauce just recently.
Oh, Sue. You should give us some tips on how
you made your applesauce.
Yeah, so Jessica can learn, and so Dorothy can learn too. And so I can eat it.
We make applesauce. So we have in our garden a big crabapple tree that we pick the apples, and we make applesauce from the crab apples, which is a little bit different tasting. And we don't add sugar or anything to the applesauce, but we use it in baking. And it's actually a different color as well. Our applesauce is like a pinky color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because of the apples.
Because of the apples we use. We use the crab apples.
And then I think most companies use citric acid so it doesn't change the color.
Right. That's right.
We have all kinds of things going on here. Okay. Amanda said, thanks so much. You're welcome, Amanda. We have a very supportive community. Louise said, actually, Amanda, your English looks great to me.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And then Susan said, weeding. Oh, well, Susan.
Oh, weeding.
We have a whole garden for you to weed whenever you want. You're always welcome. We will pay you in food.
We will pay you in food. Because we have lots of food in our garden.
We do. And then Chantel said, I'm not alone with procrastinating the backyard. No, you're not. It's not. You're talking about we don't like much. We could live we actually often talk about just living in an apartment. It's funny because...
What were you going to say?
I was going to say our friends in LA, it's because it's so small and congested. They're like, I just want a backyard. And we're like, we rarely use our backyard. We do barbecue when we're here in Alberta. But we don't, I don't like cutting the grass. We don't like trimming the hedges. We're like, what if we just had an apartment? We wouldn't have to do any of this.
Well, it's funny because we went and visited Louise and her condo last weekend. And I was just saying to Louise, I just love condo life.
It's nice because we live. You done?
I'm done now.
Because we live in small spaces. We travel to New York often, and we have small space. LA, small space. And here, we have a nice vaulted ceilings, but it's a nice place, but it's small, and that's what we like. We don't want a big old giant place. So we're like condo. So they do everything for you. Sold. Where do we sign up? Jessica said, my grandma used to make apple butter.
I love apple butter.
Is apple butter? Oh no, what's the stuff? The maple butter. Is it maple butter?
That you like. That's a little different than apple butter.
I just got introduced to apple butter by Dorothy's family, right?
Maple butter.
Sorry, maple butter.
So maple butter is a little different and it's delicious. But my family sent us out some, I don't know, a couple of years ago probably, that you had it for the first time.
Yeah.
And Drew's like, what is this stuff?
I was like, maple butter? I've never heard of this. And then, so apple butter, then I think Vanda recommended apple butter one time.
Well, Vanda, one of our members in our monthly membership, I guess introduced us to putting on a rice cake almond butter. So taking a plain rice cake and then putting almond butter and apple butter on top. Oh my gosh, it's good.
Yeah, for sure. Susan said mine's probably 3 times the size of yours. Oh, your garden? We've got a pretty big garden, Susan. Take a picture of yours and send it over. So maybe you just enjoy weeding all day. And Louis said, I love condo life too. Mm. Yeah. You know what's funny? It seems like, I don't know, I feel like there's a combination of people that need to have like big houses. Like sometimes people have like these big giant houses, then they use their garage for storage and never go in the basement. So,
yeah.
So that's kind of funny, but that's normal. Like that's a normal way of life. And then there's more and more people moving to smaller places. Like in New York, for example, most people rent. You don't buy $1 million condos.
Right.
And then in LA, at least where we go, 75% of people rent. So it's pretty difficult too, but that's the lifestyle. And we're like, why don't we have smaller areas because other places that we don't use? Mm-hmm. And that's interesting. Actually, in Okotoks, right? Okotoks? Or Cochrane?
No, Okotoks.
Okotoks, they're talking about building these, like a small community of mini homes. Tiny homes, like maybe.
Tiny homes.
Yeah, maybe you guys could comment if you heard that as well. And it's controversial. There's a lot of different sides, but we thought, why wouldn't you have, like you could have a mini home. It's a whole lot more cost efficient and it's space efficient and you could have your own home and it's tiny.
Yeah.
You don't have all the space that you don't use anyways.
Right. And we don't have a garage, and a lot of people say to us, oh, like you should build a garage in your backyard, and I'm like, no way.
Dorothy's like, no. Dorothy's the only person that doesn't want a garage.
I will never have a garage, you guys.
Don't say never.
No, I don't want one. Because you know what happens? Is it becomes a storage zone. And I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of having lots of storage because then we feel that we have to fill it up. And stuff in boxes, I'm like, if it sits on a shelf in a box, you don't need it.
See how worked up Dorothy gets?
Oh, I get a little crazy.
Every couple of months, Dorothy has like almost a full-blown breakdown about the stuff that we have. She's like, we have too much stuff. We got to get rid of stuff. And we don't have a lot of stuff. Like we pretty much live in less like 1,000 square feet. That's what we have. And that's all we need. And if we have more stuff, if that place is filled up, Dorothy loses it. I'm like, Dorothy, we live in a small area. We don't have a lot of stuff.
You calm down. You cool your jets.
And so Suzanne said, I live in a condo townhouse. That's awesome, Suzanne. Whatever works for you. I think you have both sides. Like I grew up in a house. We grew up in houses.
Sorry. I got distracted.
But I think sometimes like, just the thought of being like, I need to have a bigger house. We need to build a bigger house. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people that do or want that, but I think many of us could be very happy in small spaces and not need more.
And you know what else? Like, as Drew said about my stress level. But one thing that, like, is for me with the big space too is you gotta clean it.
That's true. The bigger the space you have, the more you have to clean.
The more you have to clean. So that's one thing that gets my stress level up about a bigger house as well. Because when we travel, like in LA, for example, there are some beautiful homes, like beautiful, beautiful houses. And, you know, I can understand why somebody would want a nice, big, beautiful home. But at the same time, I think somebody's got to clean that.
Well, and I say, like, these are multi-million-dollar homes, like $10 million homes that we drive past. And I'm like, I contemplate, like, should we buy one of those one day? Should we work towards that? And then Dorothy's like, who's going to clean that? But I'm like, if you have a $10 million home, you're not cleaning it yourself. You're paying someone else to clean that house. Smile for a screenshot. Up there. All right. So we have a couple more questions here before we wrap things up. Keep those hearts coming, guys. Let's get to 1,000. We're at 800. We can do it. I believe in you. We had Jessica just pull on a comment. Do you want to read that one?
My husband and I talk about this. We love our house. Perfect for our family. We use every square inch. I don't understand how people can have bigger houses, more cleaning, and so much wasted space. Yeah. So true. Like
We're
rooms.
the same people, Jessica.
Yeah, rooms that aren't used, right? And basements that people never go in. So yeah, we're on the same page.
And then we got another question or a comment from Jessica. Dorothy, I agree.
Don't want a
Garage?
garage either. And it takes away from my backyard where my kids play and we host barbecues and fires. Yeah.
I'm a bit torn with that, Jessica. I understand, like, Dorothy has, like, stuff issues. Like, if there's any stuff laying around, she loses it. But we live a minimalistic lifestyle. We have very few things. Like, we have one closet, for example. Like, we have one vehicle, one phone. Like, we don't need a lot of things. That's just how our lifestyle has formed. But for me, I'm a bit torn because in the winter, I would like a garage to put a car in. Dorothy would lose it because you would have put stuff in there. I'm not done.
It's not just it's not just gonna have the car in there. Then you're like, oh, I need to put this in the garage. Oh, I need to put that in the garage.
True.
Just one little box. I'm like, no.
Okay. And we also have a place at the beach as well. And it would be nice to have a garage at the beach because it gets so hot. And I always try to put the car when we drive there. I always try to put the car in the shade. So that would be a whole lot easier. I need a clean car. So then I have to wash the car like every 3 days because of all the trees and the palm trees and everything that makes the car dirty. So it'd be nice to have a little garage there too. It's probably not in the cards anytime soon until Dorothy gets over her complex.
I suppose I should not say never will have a garage, but it's a difficult one for me.
What did Louise say?
When I was in Florida, I noticed a lot of people use their garage for a workout room. We saw that a few times in LA.
We did.
Yeah.
We saw a couple of combinations. We saw, because there's so little space in LA, like where we go, like everyone's crammed in there like sardines. So we saw garages that were jam-packed with stuff. You couldn't even get a car in there. We saw garages where you could only fit a car in there, like there was just the car in there. And then we saw garages that were workout spaces. Because we walk everywhere, ride bikes, so we've seen a lot of different homes and what people do with them.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, Louise, that they do that there as well. And it's so easy in warm environments that you could have a garage, you have your own workout space. So.
Yeah, you wouldn't need a heated or insulated garage like you would here.
Yeah, Jessica said garage. Yeah, we got that. Figured it out, Jessica. And then Amanda, still from Brazil. We got 1,000 hearts. What's up?
I always talk about this with my wife. Big house, why? Someone has to clean that.
That's a good point, Amanda. Someone's got to clean it.
Someone's got to clean it.
Okay, so anything else before we wrap things up?
I don't think so.
Okay, we got 1,000 hearts.
Thank
we did
you,
it,
guys.
Team. I wasn't waiting for 1,000 hearts, by the way.
It just happened that way.
But that is fun. And so check out our YouTube. So every Saturday morning we put a new D&D adventures.
Trying to get to 100 views.
Yeah.
It's a goal.
So check out our last show. You go to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/trueformlife. That's our YouTube channel. Amanda, that'd be a great way to learn more English.
Yes.
So you guys can subscribe there. Put a little thumbs up. That helps. And leaving comments really makes a difference for us and helps our channel grow. Check out my angelic.
It's the sun.
No, it's not.
Up.
My angelic light is coming through.
If anyone should have angelic light on them, it should be me.
And then we have Cooking with Dorothy every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time.
You will, maybe Drew will put that link for you, but subscribe to the show because we send out the recipes before the show airs so that you can make the recipe along with me. And then also you can be entered into draws if you're subscribed. So we do some draws throughout the show.
And then after the show, we send out the video. So if you miss it live, you get the video sent right to you, which is super convenient. Mm-hmm. And Susan said, I have little sheds. They're stuffed. It has taken me 3 years to purge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is.
Because you accumulate things up as you... Like, it's funny how we accumulate things. Like, we just had a friend that just had a room. And he was like he had all these boxes, and he's like, I can't believe how much, it was just a year. You know, sometimes we have like a house, like one house for years, like 10, 20 years. And then we just keep accumulating things and we don't get rid of things. So we know what you're saying, Susan. And I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
Don't think so.
If you guys haven't liked our page, please like our True Form page. That definitely helps. Then you'll know when we put up our posts and when we do videos. We always appreciate your support to come in. We want to wish you guys a wonderful long weekend.
Yes.
The last hurrah.
Be sure to work out and eat your healthy meals.
That's right. If you need ideas, we have more recipes on our Trueform website, trueformlife.com/recipes. Our Trueform Life will take you to a lot of different areas. We also have a membership. We know that fall's coming in, like fall's here. We want to get into a proper routine. We help with that. We have a monthly membership group where Dorothy does all the meal planning, recipes, grocery shopping lists for you. We have at-home workouts, so we have workouts each day throughout the week that we plan for you. And we have group support, which is amazing. Some of our awesome members are in here right now watching this video.
And our most exciting news is that Chantel will be joining us.
Yes.
Today is her first day in the monthly membership, so we are so excited to have Chantel join us. And if you're interested in joining the monthly membership, just let us know, and we can give you more details and hook you up with that.
That's right. All right, guys, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you coming in. Otherwise, I'd have to cut the feed early, like Instagram. Like, no one's watching. Let's go do something else. All right, guys, we're out of here. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on social media.
Bye.